We start this interview with a fart because we start with South Park game and Chris Avellone. South Park was the surprise on the Microsoft conference at E3, and maybe one of the surprises of the whole show. How was it reception for you?
It was extremely gratifying. The entire team that had been working on South Park, that was sort of the first look the public and the press had at the game, and the fact that it had such a positive reception, everyone around the studio was really, really stoked about it.
Great. So Obsidian and you personally are mostly known for fantasy RPGs. Let's call them that way. What do you think? What's your view on the genre right now, nowadays? Do you think it's evolving? It's stuck in a point? What do you think?
I think it's evolving in some ways with new art technology, new video card advances, new engine advances. I do think, however, in some other respects, it's also kind of regressed. I think some of the older RPGs had more innovative mechanics and more elements about them that made them more role-playing games. So in some ways, I think it's taken a step backward while it's evolving in other areas.
Great. So obviously the classic of the genre is Wasteland. You're here to talk about Wasteland 2. And then another surprise was the Kickstarting campaign with 3 million.
That was a huge
dollars.
surprise.
Yeah. How was it? The whole thing.
Thanks for meeting with me today.
So you want us to pay for a Wasteland sequel?
Yes.
How old is that game?
It came out in 1988.
I'm pretty sure my mom graduated high school that year.
Fascinating.
Have you been involved with any games I might have heard of?
Have you heard of Bardstown?
No.
Fallout?
Can't say I have.
Stonekeep?
Doesn't ring a bell.
How about Dragon Wars?
I got nothing.
Castles?
I like TV show.
Star Trek 25th Anniversary?
With Picard?
No, Kirk.
Then no.
Baldur's Gate?
Who Gate?
You had to have heard of Battle Chess.
Is it launched yet?
Icewind Dale? Neuromancer? Free Space? Kingpin?
Did you do Angry Birds?
Would I f***ing be here if I did Angry Birds?
Well, getting over $3 million for Wasteland 2 ended up proving to us that sort of doing old school RPGs like Wasteland 1, there's still a very dedicated genre of fans out there that want to see those types of role-playing games again, and $3 million was just sort of like hard proof that that fan base is out there.
Do you think there can be some sort of bubble for Kickstart that many studios are trying now to get funded by Kickstart, and then it stops because obviously your results are like super huge?
I think Kickstarter has some challenges. I think it's still very much in the quote like honeymoon period in terms of like everyone thinks that it's the next greatest thing, but I do feel that there's some developing problems with it. One is the market is kind of getting saturated with Kickstarter games, so the amount of funding that people are getting for more recent game products isn't as high as like what Tim Schafer got for the adventure, Double Fine Adventure. It's certainly not as high as what we got for Wasteland. Shadowrun did pretty well, but other titles that are more recent are sort of barely hitting their marks in some respects, and I think consumers only have so much money to devote to these projects, even if they really want to see them, so that's kind of a developing challenge with Kickstarter.
What about the game itself? I don't know what are you disclosing today about the game itself, about what can fans expect from it?
We released a vision document not too long ago for, so we did, when we were doing the Kickstarter, we laid out sort of what type of game it was going to be and what sort of elements it had. But we also wanted to make sure fans knew what our overall vision was for the product, like what sort of cool things we wanted them to feel and experience over the course of the game. So we released the vision document that was like, I think 8 to 10 pages of here's exactly what we want to do with the vision. Here's the experience we want to communicate. We released that to the fan base and we're like, oh, we're not sure how they're going to react to that. And the reaction was almost unanimously positive. And the only questions people had were, well, this all sounds really great. We're very excited. Now all you have to do is deliver on it. So now all the pressure is on us.
So what's the current state for the project?
So the work that we're doing now is area design. We've got the overall sort of like narrative story arc done for the game. We're working on dialogue construction, how the dialogue mechanics are going to work, and the interface functionality for that. It's still very much in the pre-production / production phase, but we're doing a lot of work and the momentum is really fast, so I'm pretty gratified by that.
Great. Let's talk about some comments about another game, Alpha Protocol.
Sure.
Do you think it's the perfect mix between action and RPG elements?
No. So I think Alpha Protocol did have some action elements about it, like it obviously had the shooting mechanics and the stealth mechanics. In all honesty, I think that those elements could have been developed a lot better. I think that they were okay for the title, but most of the elements that people seem to like about Alpha Protocol was much more of the conversation and dialogue mechanics. And I think more effort could have been done into integrating the stealth and the more action elements into the game. And I think if there ever was an Alpha Protocol 2, there would have been a lot of lessons we could have drawn from the first game to make the second one even better. Unfortunately, Alpha Protocol is owned by Sega, so the chances of actually seeing a sequel is probably rare to non-existent.
What about Fallout? Have you imagined or envisioned a next-gen Fallout yet?
No, actually, after New Vegas, we haven't given a lot of thought to where the Fallout franchise would go from there. It's mostly in Bethesda's hands to see where they want to take Fallout. We actually, would have some cool ideas for what you could do for a Fallout 4, but we'll see what Bethesda comes up with and where they want to take the license. But they did a really good job with Fallout 3 with the whole open world exploration, which they also did really well in Skyrim. So we're looking forward to seeing what they do.
Great. These old titles we've been talking about look like classic model titles, the classic game you buy and you have the whole experience. And there's a wave of new trends like free-to-play, the online games, but doesn't look like Obsidian is too much into that kind of model. What do you think? Do you think you're making that step or just staying on where you are because it goes well?
Well, I gotta be doing AAA titles across the consoles and packaged products is pretty exhausting. I think as a studio, we'll continue to do more titles like that, but I think that a number of people at the studio would be disappointed if we kept doing titles like that exclusively. So we are investigating things like, well, how would a free-to-play product work? How would we do a Kickstarter? And working on Wasteland 2 in tandem with In Exile has been a really exciting experience to see how that development model works. So while we probably still will do AAA titles, we are looking at smaller games and exploring the opportunities for free-to-play games too, just because we would like to do something different and, to be honest, a little bit more relaxing.
Okay, that's enough. Thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.